Welcome to part 3 of 5 of my brain injury awareness videos this week. You know that I'm doing this week to highlight the challenges of brain injury survivors, and you know it's not something that we talk about very often, and most people might have gone through some brain injury in their past and never opened up about it. So hopefully these series of videos will bring some awareness. Now today I wanted to talk to you about something that's very close to my heart. When I say close to my heart, I mean something that I found quite challenging in the first couple of years since my brain injury, and that is that after you survive a brain injury and consequently a near-death experience, you are no longer the same person that you were before. I know that people look at me and say, oh, Leola, you look the same, you sound the same, you dress the same, you do the same work. What could have possibly changed? But there's so much inside that has changed for me. For those that used to know me before my brain injury, I was always that social butterfly, carefree, enjoyed life, just happy-go-lucky, a little bit stubborn if you ask my parents, and I just didn't give a rat's, if you know what I mean. So after my aneurysm, I changed as a person, and if you ask my father how or if the aneurysm of the brain injury was a good thing, he would say, and he has said verbatim, yes, I got my little girl back. And I think that he says that because after I recovered from my aneurysm, my heart opened. It opened because I now realize how short life is, how trivial things are, and how complicated we've made our lives. I even remember that when I was on my bed in ICU, and I sometimes refer to it as my deathbed, because when I was in that bed for 3 weeks in intensive care, there was a lot of conversations around, if she's going to make it through to the next round, through my stages and my progress. And so when I was lying in my deathbed, I remember saying to my husband, but who's going to pay the mortgage? Who's going to do this? What about my job? What about this? And everything that I was saying was materialistic or human or man-made. And he just looked at me and he said, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters right now is you pulling through, and that's all we're trying to get through today. I can't believe I'm getting sad telling you this. So in terms of me being a different person, I can quite easily switch off parts of my brain or of my emotional sensibility to help me not care so much about things, so things like what other people think of me. I used to care a lot about that. Now I couldn't give. I also don't have time for energy suckers, energy drainers. Why? Because I don't have a lot of energy anymore. So one of the messages that I deliver when I go to do my workshops and my speaking is that, life is short. Energy is precious. It's like time. You can't waste it. And you only need to spend your energy on things that you want to spend it on. So that includes what you do for work. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to go and find the best job in the world. But if you're going to work at McDonald's counter, then make sure you enjoy it. Because that's paying the bills, that's paying the rent, that's doing this, that's doing that. Make sure that you find and be grateful and find the gratitude in you for what you're doing. I could go on and on about this, but basically what I'm trying to say is that after you go through a brain injury, and especially one that is near death, you never come out the same person. So people that haven't gone through it and sort of, I guess, come with you through the journey in terms of, it happening and then them seeing you recover, they need to understand that others are not the same people anymore. We look at the world differently, and I can promise you that for anyone that has faced a near-death experience, that this is 100% the case. I look at the world completely differently now. It has changed my perspective on everything, and I hope it is my mission to help people that haven't gone through a near-death experience to understand this and to appreciate that life is so terribly short, and that I don't want you to have to go through a traumatic brain injury or a traumatic experience to understand how complicated and how trivial things can be, and that we just need to simplify life. Anyway, that's it for me today. Rant over that went longer than I expected. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you.